Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish. Before we get into the main topic of this video, I did want to take just a moment to, talk and reflect a bit about the ongoing ICE situation in across the US, but specifically in Minnesota. I'm filming this video in the early hours in the morning of Sunday, January 25th, and on the previous day, on Saturday the 24th, is when Alex Preddy was shot and killed by an ICE agent. And it's just, it's tough for me because like I don't know where to begin with this, honestly. I'm well, I'll just kind of bullet point list some things out. One, it just makes me feel so afraid of how reality is to live in this country nowadays, just seeing that these things are continuing to happen. Second thing, one of my good friends I found out was up in Minneapolis yesterday, participating in some protests. He's a faith leader, and this is part of the work that he does. And he was arrested, and I'm grateful that he's okay, but I also worry for him. Third thing, I'm filming this in like I said, the early hours of the morning on a Sunday, the 25th. It's about 1:30 in the morning right now. I'm supposed to be leaving for the airport in like 5 hours from now to catch my flight to go on vacation, which I've been planning for months, and I am looking forward to, because goodness knows I've work has been very busy, very stressful for me for the past many months, and so I am still looking forward to being able to unplug from that and get some mental recharging that I need. But at the same time, it's very difficult to feel excited and joyful about that when just a few states away from mine this happened. And part of why I'm bringing this up now is that as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I said something to the effect of how it can feel very strange and weird when we as individuals see all of these things that are going on in the US, but then in various aspects of our lives, people just are not talking about it, and people are just going about life like everything is still normal and fine. And when I see that happening and I'm feeling this sense of weird disconnect, it makes me feel like I'm in like some strange twilight zone, because I'm like, I know what I'm seeing, but yeah, why is this not being talked about more? And so I want to use my voice however I can to speak about this. And it's very difficult when you feel like as an individual you may not have the ability to affect any kind of meaningful change. And this is something that I'm still figuring out how to explore what to do. And one of the things I know I will be doing is two areas that are close and near to my heart in this regard. One would be the ACLU. I'm planning to make a donation to them. And then also, this isn't a direct relation to this, but I know that seeing the emphasis that's being put on getting more involved in local communities and making sure that you can do things to help your local communities stay afloat. The Northern Illinois Food Bank is an organization I've previously donated to and volunteered with, and I'll be donating to them again because I know that as things in this country continue to, fall apart, many people are getting put out of work, and that leaves them in tough financial situations. And so between donating to the ACLU and the Northern Illinois Food Bank, those are two things that I know I'll be doing to try to do something, And so, okay, and so I guess the last thing I'll say about this before I get back to our regularly scheduled programming is that I just want to send whatever kind of encouragement that I can to all of you who are watching, who also are having these feelings of discomfort and disconnect and just feeling unsettled and feeling restless because you just don't know what it is that you can do. I mean, y'all, it is 1:34 in the morning and I don't feel like I can go to sleep anytime soon. I've just resigned myself to the fact that I'm going to be taking a nice long nap on my plane ride in some hours, so that'll be fine. But please just do what you can to fight, but also please do what you can to take care of yourselves. Make sure that you're putting your own oxygen mask on first, because you can't take care of other people until you've taken care of yourself first. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's talk about polish pickup. So that's kind of a hard shift, and I'm sorry for that. First, if you're unfamiliar with polish pickup, it is a monthly collaboration from indie nail polish makers who come together around a certain theme, and they make nail polishes and other types of products available for a limited window of time. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I believe that for February, the shop is going to be open between February 6th through the 9th. Now, I typically film my PPU polish pickup video right around the time when wish listing opens, which is the Monday of the week of before polish pickup opens on that Friday morning. But so like I said, it is January 25th and the PPU shop isn't going to be open for another couple of weeks. Well, I'm doing this now very early because I am going to be traveling for the next 2 weeks. First for a week of vacation, and then right after I finish my vacation, it turns out I have like one buffer day before I have like a work trip. So I'm going on a cruise. I get back from the cruise, it's around LA, and then I'll be staying in LA because that's where my team is going to be meeting. So I'm going to be away from home for 2 weeks, and I obviously won't have my full collection of nail polishes with me. So I wanted to make sure that I could get this video out for you all to be able to have some ideas for how you might be able to dupe some of the polishes that are on your PPU wish list. Now, this comes with the caveat of normally I would wait to do this video once all the PPU polishes have been loaded onto the website so that I can go there and choose from multiple swatch photos to get a sense of how the polish looks and in different lighting, so I can see what the overall gist of that polish is, and also to be able to get the final official description from the maker, also to get details like the number of bottles that'll be available, because I like to be able to share those things in my PPU videos. However, it's that stuff's not going to be up. It's not up there now, and it won't be before I have a chance to do this video. So what I'm going to do as I'm making this video, I'm going to be referencing product photos and descriptions that are available in the Polish Pickup Facebook group, in the thread where makers have been able to post previews of their offerings for February PPU. The drawback there is that I won't be able to have access to the full range of offerings to be able to pick and choose. And I also want to make sure that I'm choosing ones where there's some type of text description of the polish, and that isn't always the case. So you know, if this video feels a little bit different in that regard, just know that is why. But you know, I do want to make sure to have that for you all. I also think that distracting myself with nail polish right now is a good way for me to kind of get my mind off of other things. And since I'm clearly not going to sleep anytime soon, why not do some nail polish? So let's go ahead and get right into it. Up first is Blue Racer from Kathleen & Co. It's described as being a smoky indigo leaning gray with aqua and blue shifting shimmer. I chose this one because I looked at it and thought, I really have a good feeling about this one. I feel like I've got the ingredients here to either do a full-on dupe, or if not that, to get kind of close. So I'm starting with Cracked Polish's O-Type Star, which, you know, you look at this and it's like, I mean, this is almost pretty much it, right? Like it's got this blue shimmer, it's got the gray dustiness, but I do think that Blue Racer does appear to have, as the description states, it seems to have more of like an aqua type shimmer. And so I want to do a couple things here to try to push it in that direction. I also want to do something to push this even dustier or dusty, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I've swatched it out here with 4 different nails because we're gonna do a variety of things. First, let's talk about the shimmer options that we've got. One blue shimmer topper that I have comes from Emily Damali. It's called Key Drama. This one, it's a very like vibrant electric blue, which is why I specifically chose this blue topper for this purpose. And then I also have from Fancy Gloss Aqua Goddess. Now I know that I think that Aqua Goddess might end up reading a little bit more milky than Key Drama, but you know, let's kind of wait and see what happens. So I'm gonna do okay, so that's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm also going to put on a black jelly polish from Emily Damali called Sheer Tint Shadow. As I was pulling these polishes out and thinking through my thought process, I thought, do I put the jelly down first to like slightly darken these swatches, or do I do it after the fact? And I think that what I'm gonna do is put my shimmer toppers on first to get that glow coming from on top. And then for these two over here, I'm gonna do like a, you know, put the jelly over it so that it feels more of like a glow from within. So these first two are not going to have a jelly put on top of it. I kind of just want to see first like what this is gonna look like on its own, and maybe this could even be enough to get me the result that I'm looking for without needing to do a jelly, but I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna want to do a jelly for that. Also, I finished packing my suitcase and everything, and I swear every single time I pack, I like start to break a nail. So before I get on my plane, I'm going to, or before I leave my house to go to the airport, I'm gonna put some more top coat on this nail, and hopefully that does something, but okay, let's go ahead first with Key Drama. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is good in that it's not like, you know, when you put a shimmer topper over over like a darker polish, and you just end up seeing nothing but the glow, and in a way that, you know, completely covers up, say, the black there. I was concerned that when I put Key Drama over O-Type Star, that it would almost like cover up all of the gray, but that's actually a really nice combination there. Okay, let me actually put Key Drama over this as well, just to get this one prepped and ready to go for putting the jelly on top of it. Yeah, that's really nice. You know, again, I'm glad that I chose Key Drama for this one, because I can see how it is giving a lot more of that like electric feel that I'm seeing in the blue racer polish. But at the same time, I do feel that it's what I'm aiming for is something that is pushing ever so slightly over into the aqua direction of shimmer, and that's where I'm hoping that Aqua Goddess will come in and give us that. So let me go ahead and open up Aqua Goddess, and I'll do it on this one on the right first, because these are the ones I'm going to put the jelly on top of. Okay, so Aqua Goddess. Let's see if my memory is correct and how milky this one has its sometimes tendency to be. Okay, yeah, it is milky. And so like when I say milky, if you take a look now at like Aqua Goddess, so this swatch on the right compared to the one with Key Drama, and you look and you see that like it's still obviously gray, but you almost have like a whitish gray color going on now. I actually really like that. That's not the same thing as Blue Racer just yet, but we might be getting there. So let me go ahead and put this over the other swatch too. Yeah, this is actually not a bad combination. And I was just wearing O-Type Star the other day as part of a Skittle. There's another video that I was filming, I forget which one it was, and you know, with me filming, this is like the third video that I filmed in the past couple days that I'm kind of like stacking up to stagger for release over the 2 weeks that I'm gone. I can't remember what order I'm gonna post these in, or what video, but there's another video where I was wearing O-Type Star, and I like it, but I just felt like something was missing. And I actually really love this combination with Aqua Goddess over it. See, okay, this is honestly one of the things I love about doing these Did I Nail It videos, where even if I don't get a result that is exactly like what I'm aiming for, I always come out of these videos with new combinations that I never would have thought to try had it not been for trying to dupe something out. So I really like that. Now it still isn't as like aqua-y as like it is strong in aqua-y as what I'm seeing in Blue Racer, which is almost like an electric aqua. But for the final step here, what I want to do is put a coat of black jelly polish, Emily Damali's Sheer Tint Shadow over these two here. This is a technique that I've mentioned in a previous Did I Nail It video, or at least one previous Did I Nail It video, where a great technique to keep in your back pocket is when you are trying to make a polish or a polish combination have a slightly darker appearance, add a layer of a black jelly on top of it, and it like bumps it down just enough to allow you to hopefully get the result that you're looking for. So let's see. And with it being a jelly, you do want to ensure that you've put enough polish on your nail to like evenly spread it out, but also be mindful of the number of times that you choose to go back to your bottle to get more polish, because with jellies being buildable, then you're going back to get more polish. But then if you do that too many times, before you know it, you've inadvertently built up that jelly in a way to where you're now like you can't see through anymore. Okay, this is, let me see. So did I nail it in terms of matching Blue Racer? I think that probably the closest one. Okay, I don't actually feel that I needed to add the black jelly here. Like, I still understand why my mind was thinking that this approach could have worked here, but I don't think that it works the best for this particular combination. So I think our better bets are going to be here with these first two combinations. And I feel that the exact shade of blue shimmer that I'm seeing in Blue Racer is somewhere in the middle of these two polishes there. You might be thinking, oh, Olivia, could you like maybe layer them to see if that would work? I mean, maybe you could, but then the drawback there is that it took me 3 coats of O-type star on its own to just get that built up to the level of opacity that I prefer. And so then the adding 1 layer of shimmer takes that up to 4 coats of polish, and if you were to combine, then that's like 5, not including your base coat and then your top coat. So I do think that I've got enough options between these two here to really scratch the itch of having this kind of like shimmery blue shimmery gray kind of vibe going on. And I actually think that using Aqua Goddess over O-Type Star is how I might prefer to wear that polish moving forward.
Hey, editing Olivia here. So a quick note about this month's offering from Monarch Lacquer. I when I was going through and going back to the PPU Facebook group with the maker spoilers post to pull the swatch photos that I had looked at the time that I filmed this video, I I had to go through it a few times because I couldn't find the one for Monarch Lacquer. And I'm like, did I dream that polish? No, no, turns out I didn't. So I'm filming this little snippet here on the Sunday night of the week that PPU listings go up for wish listing. And so it looks like Monarch is having a PPU offering for this month. It is still called Feeling Stabby. However, it's a different polish. It's a different composition than what I was than what it was at the time when they had the maker spoiler post. So, in the video that I filmed when I was watching this a week or so ago, that the description at that time stated that it is filled with, I believe, rainbow chameleon flakies. But now, as I look with what's on the PPU website, now that all the product listings have gone up, it says it has uh, blue chameleon flakes and black foil flakes. So this has never happened before because I think I might have mentioned earlier in the opening possibly that typically what I do is that I wait for the PPU wish listing to go up before I do any dupes. But in this case, because of travel, I could only refer to what was listed on the Facebook group at that time. Looking at the photos of how Feeling Stabby looks now, that is not what I was modeling my dupe attempt after. So I'm not going to include a photo of that in the video because I don't want it to be confusing. I don't want you to think that like that's what I'm trying to match. But just know I tried. I also really do love the combination of how Feeling Stabby turned out. But yeah, I would say take a look at this next section. Just picture in your mind, and hopefully from this little snippet, you will still get some ideas for how to combine various polishes. And this is fortunately the only one in this video that this happened to. So, okay, go back to the video.
Up next is a polish from Monarch Lacquer called Feeling Stabby. It's a medium violet hue packed with rainbow chameleon flakes, and it says it's been inspired by narwhals. So this one I chose to try to dupe out because purple is one of my favorite colors, and I was looking at this, and recently I was doing some shopping and trying to figure out which kinds of holes I needed to fill in my polish collection. And over the course of filming these videos, I realized several times that I did not have a purple jelly polish. So I got this one from Starly called Crown Jelly. And so this is, I think, one of the first times I'm gonna get a chance to use it in one of these dupe videos. So what I've done so far is on both of these nails, swatched it out so far in 2 coats each, just to get a good like base level of opacity. Now, I think I'm probably gonna bring this back in a little bit to try to give this more of a jelly sandwich feel, depending on how this turns out. Pretty sure, so I'm gonna keep it on the side. So now I've got 2 options for flakes. I think I'm gonna start with this one first. This is a topper from Perky Polish. You can see how much of this I've used already. It's called Fortitude. And I know that this shows up well over darker colors, but with this being a darker jelly, I mean, let's see what happens. Let's see. Okay, it's kind of showing up. It's there, but these are more like very iridescent flakes, so I'm not really expecting them to have that same kind of like visual flake shape that we would get from other types of toppers. I just thought I'd give this one a try just to see. I mean, but like, even though this is probably not going to be the right one for this dupe attempt, I'm just, do y'all see why I love this one so much? Like, just those color shifts like that. It's, oh, just, this is like the topper that I use when I want to feel like I have a dinosaur egg on my nails. So that, you see why? Okay, so going on to the second one that I think might be a better match for what we need for this, comes from Cirque Colors Fantasia. Now this is a topper that whenever I use it, I've got to say, like, the shape of the flakes really like stands out. So you'll see what I mean in just a second once I put this on here. See the difference there? And like just you're able to more clearly see the shape and size of these flakes. It's because of that I tend to use Fantasia, I think, less often than I do my other flake toppers, because I personally tend to prefer I tend to prefer ones that are more of like Fortitude on the left, because I love being able to still more clearly see the base color of whatever I've put it on. So you see how on the right here, like you can still tell that it's purple underneath, but it's been sort of, the color has changed a bit because of the opacity of the flakes that we put on top of it. Well, so far neither of these, I mean, I know this is not the exact shade of purple that's in the Monarch polish, but you know, this is the only purple jelly that I've got currently, so we'll see if it's close enough to at least get me in the ballpark. Let's see how this looks when I put another coat of crown jelly over our first swatch with Fortitude to see if that will cover it up or what. Oh wait, okay. I love that I can still see the glowiness from inside. Okay, so y'all know how I said that this was feeling like a dinosaur egg before. Let's paint the vision again. So this is like a dinosaur egg, but you know how you watch those dinosaur movies like Jurassic Park where something's really going wrong and it's like they come across an egg and it's like the egg is like not just glowing on the outside but from the inside somehow. That's what I just did. Okay, I like that. Oh wow. What? See, once again, I never would have thought to combine these polishes together in this way. That is so nice. This is, oh y'all, okay, this is tough for me because, okay, first of all, this is not the same as the Monarch polish, but I've got a flight in a few hours, and one of the outfits that I'm wearing on my trip is purple, and I still have not yet decided which purple polish I'm bringing with me. I think this might have to be the combination now, because that's just, I just want to like show up to meet with my coworkers and be like, look at my dinosaur egg hands and stuff. Like I would say something like that. Okay, let's go on to the second one. I think this one will give us more of like this kind of jelly sandwich where you can more clearly see the flakes that are in between there. I was trying to not put too much of a coat of polish on here because I still do want to see my flakes, but yeah, that's not it either. Like I said, I knew going into it that this was not going to be the exact same shade of purple, but I would say, did I nail it here? No. My recommendation would be, honestly, if you have any kind of jelly, flaky polish in your collection that's already having this same kind of vibe, what you can do that I've also seen that's worked really well for me before is to like start with that flaky jelly polish, right? A couple coats of that, then follow that up with a coat of a jelly polish, and depending on like how closely your colors align with what's in your target polish, you'd be quite surprised with where you could get with that. I personally just don't think I have anything that's in this shade of purple, but I do think it's a lovely color. But you know, this was still worth a try and got me at least one new combination that I look forward to wearing at some point. The next polish is another purple one. It comes from Beaux Reves, and okay, it's inspired by the Powerpuff Girls, which I've never seen before, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly or not. I hope I am, but the name of the polish is Octi Evil. It says, inspired by the Powerpuff Girls Bubbles stuffed toy Octi or Octi, who turns evil. It's a vibrant purple base, bright blue-green shimmer, and pink reflective glitter. So the reason why I have swatched out 4 different nails here is that we're gonna do, once again, a variety of options because like I have 2 different shimmer toppers I want to use, and I also want to use 2 different pink reflective glitter toppers. So we'll see which combination might be the best fit for this. For all of these, I'm starting out with 2 coats of Lurid Lacquer's Indomitable, which I finally was able to, the other day, buy another bottle of. I mean, like, it is getting empty. Like, I use this one quite a bit, as you can tell. It's a very, very good polish. So I've got two different shimmer toppers that I want to try out. Both of these are from Fancy Gloss. The first one is a green shimmer topper called Mystic Dust. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this over the first two swatches. And oh, I almost forgot like which one I was on because I'm like, it's all purple. Okay, so that one. These will, like, once I'm finished with these four, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna look different than the last attempt that I had over there. Okay, that's kind of nice. So far, so good. Let me zoom in a bit on this here so you can see that shimmer. And I'm gonna put this down on the second one as well. I decided to do, like, I know it says blue-green shimmer. I decided to go with like green instead of blue just because I felt that, like, I wasn't sure if putting a blue shimmer would really stand out as much as I wanted it to over purple, but I can always test that out some more if I like. And for the other one, I'm using Fancy Gloss's Aqua Goddess. So this one is more of an aqua shimmer, but like I mentioned when I was using this for the first polish in this video, it does, this one right over here, it does have a tendency to give more of a like milky look appearance, which is, you know, depending on what you're going for, that can be a good thing or it can sometimes take away from what you're trying to do. It's always interesting to see the impact that that will have on what I put it on top of. Okay, so as I'm doing this, I just want to like zoom in a bit and point out. So when you know, if you weren't sure what I meant when I said like milky finish, I want you to compare these two right here in the middle. So if you just take a look and see the difference in how that shimmer appears in each one, it's like I just think of this as like milky is like the best word that comes to mind, where you definitely do get aqua shimmer with Aqua Goddess, but it also comes with this feeling of like a whole kind of like silvery cast over the entire nail, as opposed to something like Mystic Dust, which is more speckled, but not in a way that's giving any kind of unwanted visual texture. Hopefully that makes sense. It's just, you know, pearlescent might be another word that I can use to describe Aqua Goddess in the way it looks. It's, you know, it's like I always say, it's always a matter of just making sure that you have a good understanding of how the various polishes in your collection work, how they behave, so that when it comes time for you to choose which one you're wanting to use for certain purposes, you can say like, oh yeah, I want it to look like this, so therefore Aqua Goddess is going to be the better choice, or, you know, and so on. Okay, so so far I think that this is actually all of these are looking pretty good. It seems like the base purple in the Beaux Reves polish is most likely, as they're starting with what appears to be a slightly lighter purple, so this is not going to get exactly 100% like what we've got there, but I still think it's going to get pretty close. Okay, now let's go on to our pink reflective glitter. I've got two options, and both of these are from Cirque Colors. The reason why I'm using two different options here is that one of these was a limited edition topper that's no longer available, and another one is still available. So that way, if you all are looking at this and you're like, oh wow, I really wish I could use that polish, as much as possible I like to show polishes that are still available out there if you're looking to buy something like what you see in these videos. So the first one that was the limited edition one is called Sparkling Blush, and I'm just gonna hold these next to each other so you can see the difference. The second one, by the way, is from Cirque Tiny Dancer. So on the left, I would say it's more of like a pink, whereas on the right, it's more of like a slight nude rose gold type pink, but I think that both of these could get us very close to what we're going for. Let's start with sparkling blush. So let me see, how am I doing this? Yes. So what I want to do now is put sparkling blush on this one and that one. Okay. Ooh, okay. That is really nice. And this is, you know, this is one of the times where I wish that I, you know, it's tricky to only have a single swatch photo available for me to refer to, because, you know, when you're looking at the product listings and like you click through a number of different swatch photos to really see like, how does this look, and it's tough when you only have one to reference. So that is, I'm curious to see what these will actually look like once those photos do become available. Okay, now we've got this on over Aqua Goddess. So far, I mean, these, you know, with reflective glitter, it can be the case that you don't always see the full appearance of whatever kind of color reflective glitter it is until you put like flash on it. But in this case, I actually am seeing like pink sparkle in there, so that's really nice. Okay, now let's try out Tiny Dancer over these. And you know, as I'm looking at this and I'm thinking like, depending on how much I like this combination, this will help me to see like, well, if I can end up getting the same kind of result by using Tiny Dancer instead of sparkling blush, I would lean personally towards using Tiny Dancer, because this Tiny Dancer is something I can easily buy again, whereas I would want to save my bottle of sparkling blush for times when I can really only get that kind of look from it. Okay, yeah, it's definitely different here. It's a different, like I said, more of a rose gold kind of pink sparkle there. And let's put that over Aqua Goddess. Okay, so of these options, I think that, okay, what's interesting here, if you take a look in the middle one right there, and I want you to compare them to what you're seeing with the sparkling blush options on the left and right. Do you notice how there's like, you can sort of see this kind of like brownish tint that's like a sort of webbing in between the glitters? And yeah, I'm seeing it over here as well. Why that can happen is that it, you know, this is something that doesn't necessarily occur over every kind of polish, every kind or color that you would use a reflective glitter topper over. Sometimes it can be like just when there's a certain color glitter that you're putting over a certain color base, that kind of whatever color in between is there, like in between the glitters, will show up more prominently like it is here, whereas I'm not seeing that kind of cast with sparkling blush. So I would say that I do think that at least from what I can tell, the shimmer that's in the Beaux Reves polish is a little bit more prominent than what I've done here. So I don't think I fully nailed it. However, I do really love the idea of using like green or teal shimmer topper together with Indomitable to make that polish become even more glowy. And it's actually been a while since I've used Tiny Dancer, so I can't really speak to how often this may or may not occur. I do know though, there was recently another video where I found that I was getting the same kind of thing, this same kind of occurrence happening with my silver reflective glitter topper that I've been using, to the point where I, like in the middle of filming a video, decided to pull out the materials to make my own homemade reflective glitter topper, and that had more of a glitter distribution that I prefer, that would prevent this from happening. So that might need to be what I do for this, because yeah, I think that this tends to occur when there are just like too many glitters in a reflective glitter bottle. Sorry, this turned into a tangent about reflective glitter. That happens sometimes. So yeah, for the time being, I would probably stick with sparkling blush over Tiny Dancer, but in the long run, I would just use my polish making supplies, make my own glitter topper that is a little bit has fewer glitter particles in there, in order to prevent that kind of like background image there. But yeah, I hope this kind of combination inspires you all to, who also have Indomitable or another purple polish, to put some shimmer and glare over it and see what happens. The next polish comes from Dreamland Lacquer. It's called, oh, I love the name of this, Bloop Bloop. It says they were inspired by jellyfish, and Bloop Bloop. It's a medium seafoam crelly filled with flakes and shimmer that are purpley to pinky and then shift to gold, orange, and green at extreme angles. Okay. This is such a beautiful polish, and as someone who loves like teal and purple shimmer, I really hope that I can get a good dupe for this one, because ooh, this is a good one. Now, I know it says that that this polish has a crelly base. I don't have that shade of crelly, but I do have a teal cream polish from Atomic called Lily of the Valley, and so I've started by swatching that out here on both of these nails. The next thing that I want to do is address the flakes. So it says that we've got flakes that are purpley to pinky, and there's a lot of color shifts there. Okay, I'm actually going to be using the same 2 flake toppers that I had from a couple polishes ago. The first one being Perky Polish Fortitude. So let me go ahead and put that down and see how it looks. Zoom in a bit here. Yeah, I really hope that ideally I hope I get a good dupe for this, but if nothing else, I'm hoping that I might find a new favorite combination that I might want to keep in my back pocket. Like, y'all, look at that. This is why I love this topper so much, because of just how dinosaur eggy it makes everything that I put it over. That is really, really nice. Now let's go with Cert Colors Fantasia, which, if you recall from the earlier polish, this one is a lot more opaque. It's a lot more packed with opaque flakes. So I think that difference is going to show up a lot more over a cream than a jelly like we had before. You know, to a certain extent, the flakes in Fantasia do begin to somewhat disappear into the background, but you know, it's a completely different story when you look at the way that the flakes in Fortitude show up, where Fortitude leaves you with this like very glassy like finish, whereas Fantasia, you know, they're sitting down, they're laying down very flat. I mean, I don't think it's to the extent, yeah, you wouldn't need to use a glitter smoother over this to like smooth anything out, but it still is a different kind of vibe here. So I'm curious to see which one is going to get us closer to this Bloop Bloop, which I just love saying that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now let's talk about shimmer. The one that I'm going to use over both of these comes from Fancy Gloss Let It Glow Purple Pink. Now, before I put this on, I want to explain a little bit about what I'm doing and why. And I know in my videos, especially my dupe videos, I often talk about the importance of not just choosing which elements you want to include in a possible dupe, but also to determine the order in which you put them down. So while normally I would often start with like a cream polish first, then I would put the shimmer over top of that, and then maybe put flakes as the final piece. I'm seeing such a strong sense of purple shimmer and bloop bloop that seems to sit above the flakes, that is why I'm deciding to do it in this way. So I started with the cream first, then I put the flakes on, and now as the last part of this, I'm going to come in with the purple shimmer, because what that purple shimmer is going to do is apply to not just the cream, the teal cream, but also to the flakes. So here we go. I mean, so far I like both of these. I'm definitely leaning more towards Fortitude, as like, I would say, okay, so far I think that the Fantasia option looks more like Bloop Bloop, but I personally prefer the look of Fortitude. Okay, so here we go with some shimmer. Ooh. Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in on this some more because y'all need to see this. Like, I'm just gonna wiggle this around a bit so you can see exactly what I'm looking at here and how stunning that is. And this is why I put the shimmer on last, because of what that shimmer does when like it hits the flakes, and oh, that is gorgeous. Oh wow. Okay, do I need to bring this combination on my trip? Apparently I do. Okay, all right, let's go on to the Fantasia. Okay, this is interesting because as I'm looking at the photo of Bloop Bloop and seeing how that is, I think that this here, it's very close to being there. I feel that what would probably make even more of a difference here would be, this could probably be one of the times where like if you put a matching like jelly polish over top of the flakes and then did the shimmer or some kind of combination like that, I just feel like this combination just needs a little bit more to push it further, to give that, like, to mimic more closely that crelly finish that we have in Bloop Bloop. So it's almost there, but not quite, but it's getting so close in the ballpark. However, ooh, that combination there on the left with Fortitude, so, you know, just an updated time check as we're going along here. It's currently 2:58 and as a reminder, my husband is driving me to the airport at 6:15 and I've packed up pretty much everything, but not yet my nail polish. But so I think that this combination is one I'm gonna pack to wear. Yeah, that is gorgeous, and once again, a time where I would never, not never necessarily, who knows, but like I almost certainly would not have come across this polish combination were it not for trying to dupe these things out. So I love this, and I think that Bloop Bloop is a gorgeous polish too. I don't know if I'll feel the need to buy it just because of how close this gets me, but hopefully this gives you all some inspiration too if you have it on your wish list and are looking to maybe save some costs. The next one's going to be pretty quick and straightforward. It is Phoenix. Their polish is called Beware. It's a baby pink Crelly base with red Aurora shimmer. It says it is inspired by a Pokemon. So here we've got, a baby pink Crelly base. Now, I've got a couple things going on here. The first option on the left is Hollow Taco's Icon on Board, which is a pink Crelly, but not one that I would consider a baby pink Crelly. But you know, it's a pink Crelly, so I kind of want to see how that goes. I've built it up in 3 coats there, just because I like full opacity when I can. But if you only have like a pink cream polish, I think you still can get the result here. That's why I wanted to do option 2, which is a it's always funny whenever I use this one in my videos, because I'm like, and the name of this one is Blank Beauty Mystery Polish. But I'm almost certain like you can find a similar one on Blank Beauty's website that actually does have a name and is not a mystery polish that they sent to me with one of my orders. So the reason I chose that one is that even though that one is a cream, that is what I would consider to be a baby pink. So now the only thing I really want to test out here would be how each of these polishes look when I add on a red shimmer topper. I'm using Fancy Gloss's Let It Glow Red Pink, and let's see what happens. Okay. I mean, the swatch photo that I'm seeing in the Facebook group, it's very glowy. So I'm hoping that this might get close. And you know, that photo, you ever like see a swatch photo where like you're looking at it in a way where the glow is just really intensified, almost to an extent that doesn't really align with what you would see if you're looking at it with just your naked eye. That seems to be the case in the photo that I'm seeing that's available now. But I do think though that this is interesting. I feel like, yeah, the second one here, the one that's actually the baby pink on the right, I think is actually very similar to what I'm seeing in the photo of Beware. I say this is interesting because I think the option on the right is the one that's most similar, but the version that I would actually see myself wearing is the one on the left with the shade of pink that's more an Icon on Board. I'll admit that like this shade of pink isn't one that I often find myself wearing. When I wear pink, it's almost always so I've got this one like right in front of me because I'm getting ready to pack up my nail polish, but this one from Cirque Colors, retail therapy, you can see is a different kind of pink. It's more neon than Icon on Board, but I think that doing this and putting this shimmer on top of Icon on Board is helping me to see some potential in that polish that I didn't realize was there. So whereas before I wouldn't really reach for Icon on Board, I actually really love that combination. And I think adding the red shimmer to it gives it more depth and dimension than it has on its own, which can fall a little bit flat. So did I nail it for Beware? Yep, I think so, with the one on the right. The next dupe attempt is also probably going to be pretty straightforward. It's from Broken Pixel, there we go, polish called Everyone's Grudge. It's a green base, green gold bronze multichrome with a sparkling bronze shimmer. It says it's inspired by the cute but deadly Tonberry, the green salamander enemy mob from the Final Fantasy game series. There's going to be a cap of 250 bottles. So I've swatched out 2 nails here with each of these has, I think I put down 3 coats of Lenby Designs. Oh look, it's Scowly Face, which is, you know, like a green, gold, bronze, multi-chrome, you know, so far so good, right? And then the only other thing I really wanted to test out for this is where it says it has a sparkling bronze shimmer. So I'm gonna start with one that I think is in the ballpark, but isn't probably gonna be the best fit, but I wanna see what it does anyway, because this is more of like a yellow shimmer. This is from BCB Lacquer's Next Question. And let's just see, like, you never know with shimmer sometimes, like you see it one way in the bottle, but then depending on what you put it on top of, there might be something in that base color that just brings out a whole different aspect of the topper. So maybe we'll see. Oh, I mean, that's not everyone's Grudge, but why have I not worn this combo before? That's really nice and pretty and sparkly. See that, okay, so the sparkle, the shimmer in Next Question, it, to me, when I look at it, that reads yellow. There are, I can see like some orange, a little bit of green, but not nearly as much as what I see with the yellow. But yet when I take a look at how it applied over the Lenby Designs polish, that reads as like a green shimmer to me in a way, and in a really great way. I love that. Okay, it's not the same thing as Everyone's Grudge, because I think that shimmer is, like the description says, like it's like a darker bronze, but I'm gonna wear this combination sometime. And the other shimmer option that I have, this is actually not intended to be a shimmer topper. It's a magnetic topper from Cracked called Scorchy. And you can see the difference here between Scorchy on the left and BCB Lacquer's Next Question over here on the right, like why I am comparing these. So this one I feel like is going to give us hopefully a little bit more of that like darker, richer bronze. However, I know that often what can happen when you put a magnetic topper over a polish and you leave it unmagnetized is that they can sometimes have more of like a gritty visual texture. And so that can be one of the drawbacks, which, did anything even happen? I mean, I guess it's technically there, but I'm not seeing, this is one of the times where I'm probably gonna have to see this in other lighting to really tell if there's a difference. Like I can sort of see how the swatch on the right is like darker than the left, but it's hard to say. I think that Everyone's Grudge is, you know, if you already have a similar looking multi-chrome polish in your collection, I don't think that Everyone's Grudge is going to be so radically different that you will likely feel the need to purchase another one. But you know, especially if you have some kind of shimmer topper that you can put on it to try it out and see how that goes. The final polish I'm going to try to do for this video comes from Waabooz Cosmetics. It's called Poison Darted, described as a darker orange with a strong blue shimmer and black flaky / small black glitters. They were inspired by the strawberry poison dart frog, and there's a cap of 250 bottles. Okay, this one, okay, so seeing how the other dupes have gone so far in this video, what I'm really looking for out of this is like, even if I don't get an exact dupe, which I think I might be able to get pretty close to, I'm hoping that I might be able to find a way to use my base polish more than I currently have, because this polish that I'm using here, Cracked, Delicacy, and Sardinia, I just don't really wear this polish. Like I think it has a fantastic color and formula, but I just don't seek it out to wear, especially because I'm a seasonal polish wearer and fall has passed for this, I was about to say this year, it's 2026. Y'all know what I mean. Fall's in the past right now. So I'm not really leaning towards this at the moment. But what I'm gonna do to layer on top of this, I've got two different things I wanna try out. First option that we've got comes from Cracked mascara flakes. So fun fact, as I was setting these two swatches up and waiting for them to dry, I went ahead and finished packing up my nail polish bag for traveling, and my current bottle of mascara flakes is in there. This is the one that, like, my first bottle of it that's kind of getting down to the bottom. Like, I'm waiting for the other bottle to get a little bit lower so then I can just pour this in there. So if y'all see me struggling to get polish out of this bottle, that is why. And then for our blue shimmer, we've got Emily Damali Key Drama. Now, I think it was back when I was talking about our teal polish over here that I mentioned the importance of trying to figure out the order in which you want to layer various elements when trying to dupe something out. And this is where I'm keeping my components the same for, across the two options, but what I'm going to change up will be the order in which I swatch these. So let me kind of do this as I'm explaining it, and let's just start here with the Cracked that I can maybe tilt over here to get some mascara flakes out of the bottle. Yeah, I mean, I knew that, like, if I'm going to be away from home for 2 weeks, I need my mascara flakes with me. So I packed, like, maybe, oh, okay, so here's the other thing about, like, my packing that I did. Now that I'm into shimmers and other toppers, that kind of like doubles the number of bottles of polish that I'm bringing with me, because like it isn't just enough for me to bring like a hot pink cream polish with me. I'm like, ooh, that goes really well with that, like this other blue shimmer that I've got. So yeah, I like having options. And so, okay, so the other one, I'm gonna put Key Drama first. Okay. Ooh, okay, that's nice. See, this is what I'm talking about, like using these videos as a way to help me figure out some combinations that I never thought about. So with what we've got so far, what I'm looking to see what's going to happen next is when I put my blue shimmer Key Drama over this first one, it's going to put that blue shimmer over everything. Like even the black flakes are going to have, to some extent, a blue tint to them. But then when I go in here on the right and put in mascara flakes, what we're going to see is like these stark black flakes standing out on top of the blue shimmer. Now, once again, this is where I wish that I had access to multiple swatch photos to be able to look through them and get a general sense of how this polish seems to be working. It is kind of hard to tell. And obviously it's also different when you've got shimmer that's mixed into a polish together with the flakes, together with your base pigment and everything. So it's not going to be a one-to-one comparison, but I do think that if I had to guess, I think that our first option is most likely going to be the one that looks the closest to the one from Waabooz, because it's going to be like everything is shimmering and not just like the base color. So let's go ahead and put Key Drama over the first swatch. Okay. Yep, That's exactly what I was thinking would happen here. Okay, yeah, that's a really cute combination. Huh. See, this is helping me to figure out some good combinations here that I hadn't considered before. Now, I'm gonna go and put the mascara flakes on the second one before I really go into talking about the differences and what I'm noticing here. Okay. And then I'll go back and zoom in a little bit more closely so that you can really see the differences and what I was talking about when it comes to layering. So what I want you to look at here is pick a flake, any flake, on each side. Just take a moment, just pick any flake. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is continue to follow that flake as I adjust and do the shift. Okay, so as I'm doing this, I want you to notice, do you see the blue shimmer go on top of that flake, or do you see it kind of stay underneath? And that is what I've been talking about here, with that difference between the order in which I chose to put these on here. Now, as I mentioned, because this Waabooz polish is one where everything was kind of mixed up together, I do think that the option on the left is going to be a better match for what we were working towards. However, this is another time where I think that the way that I would prefer to wear this would maybe be the option on the right with the black flakes sitting on top of the shimmer, just to make it so that I really love how those black flakes stand out a little bit more in option number 2. And I could actually see myself wearing this combination. So this turned out really well. I think I nailed it here. And last thing I'll say about this is that as with anything, with any kind of flake topper, what's great is that you can always build it up as much as you need to, because I do think that the Waabooz polish has more flakes than what I put here, but for just a simple, straightforward dupe attempt, this was pretty good.
So, hi from my cruise ship. I say my cruise ship like I own the thing. Hello from a cruise ship, I guess, that's currently floating somewhere off the coast of Mexico. I hope that this PPU video has been helpful for you, even though I know it's, like I said in the beginning, it was a little different from my usual ones because of not having access to all of the photos in advance. But even though I am still away from home and will still be away from home at the time that I post this video, please do let me know in the comments if there are any PPU offerings for this month that you need help with duping. I've got a pretty good memory of what I've got in my collection, so I'm more than happy to give you some suggestions for layering options there. And also let me know what's on your wish list. I know the cute but deadly theme for this month is one that it was fun to see so many of the makers just have fun with that theme. And also for me to scroll through the previews and learn about some like different different animals out there that I didn't know about that are kind of cute but deadly. Thank you all as always for being here on this channel. It's by the way, also I did my nails on the ship, so like pink. Yeah, it's been I'm glad I've been able to continue sharing videos while I'm away, because I want to keep putting content out there to help you all, and to you know, to keep giving you some more stuff that's part of this hobby that we all share and love. So I hope that you all are having a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.